The Corporal, he saw time. Hey YouTube, good morning. I'm Stanley Pacion. I have a poem here for you called Corporal, All Night Love Encounter. The Corporal, he saw time. He saw 30 seconds. He saw temporal instants. He saw the spin, the vortex, the endpoint, whereat all disappeared. No fiction, no imaginary construct. The vanishing wheel, it was the same as every other solid in existence. He was turning the corner into the living room when he noticed the couch become clear light. Transparent, a configuration of lines, blue lines on white background, and at the bottom right-hand corner, a line, rectangular box spelled out, blanks to be composed at a later time. They read, name, address, and project title. Corporal seemed to slip into a more familiar space. He lay upon the bed on his back. He bent forwards and touched his feet. He grasped his toes. He was smarting. He was hurting all over. He suffered. It seemed every muscle, every joint ached. My, what a plethora of subjects crossed his mind. The Corporal, he saw every crack and crevice of heaven. He rolled up, brought knees to chest, and then white light. He caught such gigantic power. That night he broke the bubble and went beyond. He went way beyond the stars. He walked a field. The wheat had grown up to his waist. He ran full speed, and he could see himself. He could see himself, stark, dark figure in the distance. While he ran, breakneck, towards the horizon of black and yellow checkerboard colored sky. It was at that moment he turned to ask her. The clothes were scattered throughout the parlor. It was late night, and a view of lower Manhattan lights, the buildings, street lamps, and bridges burned. Out the window, the illumination awesome. Out the window view from the 25th floor of the high-rise. He asked how it had been for her. Corporal wondered because they had never left the front room couch in the sadness of re-entry. Earth's gravity began to exert its heavy hold. And she adopting chapter and verse from the good Dr. Leary's work, replied, 1,000 times better it was. 1,000 times better? Corporal queried. Their clothes were scattered throughout the parlor. Corporal flashed in Technicolor, a motion picture screen. It occupied the theater before his eyes. The hall was vast, with long, drawn aisles and fretted vault, chandeliers, illuminated architecture, a long, flat board stage. It had a trough for footlights, and over its edge, an orchestra pit. Ornate blocks and floral and leafy rosettes in high relief accented the luxury. The scene unfolded a vision. Long ago, workman studios. Corporal saw another time, another place, industry beyond narrow focus of bottom line. He lamented how terrible the cost of greed, how new notions, corporate priority, had replaced the love and regard for hands making things. And upon the walls in this theater were fluted columns, between them paintings, pictures of deep woods, which themselves opened upon coves and secret gardens, whose waters compounded a scene of amorous gods, who were at sport, making love with mythical creatures. And when his eyes returned to the drama, the show that ran upon the screen, at first he thought Popeye, but no olive oil there. Instead, he saw a white, hot blonde with long, curly tresses bouncing from her shoulders. Remember, these were full action figures. Then he realized the cartoon characters which played, they were he and she. They were locked within impossible embrace. Corporal heard the music score. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. He checked. He reached around his torso, touched his back. He had to see were his spine still in place. He wondered whether contortionist on view, a dream, or was it third-person glimpse, the camera's true capture, the hours previous to light, now projected with vivid light. Oh, the animation and color before him. He mulled it over. He was trying to discern what was real, what was not, and then fell to warm all over pleasant body heat, and heard what he knew was the voice of the Lord. Eagle, eagle, arise, why sleep now? It's dawn, and eat and drink, and all the eagles wait to watch you. And she, her face an inch away from his, she sighed and responded again to his query. It was 1,000 times better, she said. Corporal ran. He ran breakneck towards horizon. It was late night, and a view of lower Manhattan lights, the buildings, street lamps, and bridges burned. Out the window the illumination. Awesome out the window view from the 25th floor of the high-rise.